This video is brought to you by GameMaker. And if you've ever wanted to get into game development, GameMaker does this really crazy thing where it's free. Just start making and only pay when you want to release your game to the world commercially.
It's fast, it's user-friendly, and there's easy-to-follow tutorials, plus a dedicated community to help answer even my questions. How make man jump? GameMaker is a 2D game engine that's helped bring some of yours and my favorite recent experiences to life, like UFO 50, Chicory, Anton Blast, and of course, Yahtzee's own Starstruck Vagabond.
Ooh, are we talking about GameMaker? I love that program, it's so easy to use. As well as Starstruck Vagabond, I also used it to make all 12 projects in my 12 games in 12 months Dev Diary challenge. And I couldn't believe how much sex I got out of that. None. I got none at all. Which I couldn't believe.
So what are you waiting for? Head on over to the GameMaker link in the description and start cracking away today, because we want to play your game.
Yeah, looking through this list, I'm seeing one of you made Armpit Fart Tycoon, and I've got several questions for you.
Hello. Welcome to the Windbreakers podcast. I'm Yahtzee Crowshaw, and I'm joined by these jokers.
It's weird that you didn't say hello, everyone. You just said hello. You usually say hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to mix things up.
And he also didn't say our names, which he usually says. I think
Yeah,
this
but I
might
like
not
calling
be
us
Yahtzee.
chuckle fucks or whatever you call those. Jokers. I like
Jokers.
that.
Jokers.
Maybe next time I'll say greetings. Maybe I'll say a different kind of hello every time.
I don't think you can come
Until-
up with 55 in a year. 55? Is that how many weeks are in a year?
I'll just switch to different languages. I'll say Guten Tag, and I'll say
got a-
Bonjour.
We got a polyglot in our
Ooh.
midst.
Anyway, how you all doing, by the way? We never really catch up before these.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. It was a nice
Amazing.
little weekend. 85 degrees. It was spicy all weekend.
Oh,
We're doing
the
great.
AC, the apartment complex I live in has turned the AC off because apparently it's a law that they have to follow based in the state. So
That's-
our place is ripping hot, and I was doing game dev shit all weekend, and I wanted to
hate
die.
I hate that.
So
It's terrible.
Yes, it's that lovely time of year. Not too hot, not too cold. It's probably going to get pretty cold pretty soon.
Liminal space between seasons.
Yeah. And then Halloween. Lots of sweets that the kids get and then forget they have, so I can steal them all.
I'm gonna
Anyway.
go. Let's go trick or treating this year. When we're in Milwaukee,
Yeah.
we'll go trick or treating for
I've never been.
Adventures.
I've never been in my life.
You've never been
Well,
trick or treating?
No, my mum was incredibly religious when I was a child, so it was considered like worshipping the devil to do Halloween shit. So I've never. And when she lost
Oh,
her
fun.
faith, I was like old enough where it was like, as a teenager, it's uncool to do it. So I never done it. I'd love to go.
Jess, if you're listening, take Jay trick or treating this year. Honestly, you could pull off. If you showed up to my door, I'd be like, he's probably young enough.
Yeah, yeah, just show.
Just
shave
cover
over
my
it.
hairline.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
cover my hairline.
No, keep your
Hello.
hairline and then show up in a Tintin costume.
Oh my god! Incredible! Oh my god! And what's the dog's name? Fluffy? That could be Ludo.
Snowy.
Snowy.
No,
There
yeah.
you go. Okay.
Anyway,
Good bands.
we did have a topic for this.
We do actually.
This week we're talking about stories in games that really stuck with us. Sort of a
Yes.
nice little evergreen topic for a week where not much is going on, but it did like resonate with me when you suggested it because it made me think of Silent Hill F.
Sure.
Because in my feelings about stories in games, as you know, I'm a big story hound. I consider myself a narrative specialist in interactive gameplay design.
Mhm.
But for me, a story becomes great when you think of a game and then you can instantly remember moments from it. I play a lot of games that have stories that are just sort of there, but there's no like games that have like in-depth glossaries that explain the setting and lots of dialogue and stuff like that. But there's no specific moments you actually recall to mind when you think back to the game. Just to pluck an example out of the air. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I remember very few specific moments from that.
Yeah.
I only
In my
remember
head, it's
one
just-
moment from the story. and it's a non-combat section where you're grilling dogs or burgers in your front lawn on like a military base, and it has this foreboding sense that someone's going to drive by and attack you, and I don't think anyone ever does.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
Ah,
But,
Not a great thing
That's
to
cool.
remember.
but the test for me is think of a game, and if you instantly think of a moment, bam, that game stuck with you.
Mhm.
And when I think of Silent Hill F, I think, bam, girl saws her arm off.
Yeah, you gotta pluck that arm off. It's interesting to play a game in the moment and be like, oh, this is going to be something that sticks with me going forward. And I feel like there's been a few games this year. I'm going to remember narrative moments from Hades 2. I'm going to remember story moments from Silent Hill F. I'll remember stuff certainly from Claire Obscure. So I think it's been a relatively good moment for that.
I certainly remember taking baths a lot in Hades 2 and looking at those
Love
infuriating graphics that cut off just as they get to where you'd expect the nipples to be.
Where are the nips?
Yeah, exactly.
Nipplegate.
The other thing about Silent Hill F, Silent Hill F's got its flaws, but I think it's got a strong story and presentation of that story. There's another moment early on, like the first time monsters show up, where you're just hanging out with your mates in the street, and it's like a dippy high school romance manga. And then, sudden switch on a dime, someone dies horribly, and then monsters chase you down the street.
Yeah. You're like, oh, that happens. That happens very quickly.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, I think a strong story is one that I have a relatively bad memory when it comes to this stuff, but if years can move on and I'm still thinking about specific things from the game, like you mentioned, then that is the test of something. I had 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim put on the thumbnail.
Yeah, we all know why that sticks out in your memory. Am I right?
Listen, it's not because the children are naked inside their robots. Don't let anyone print in the newspaper that I think about the game because the children were naked in the robots.
I didn't say anything about them being naked inside the robots. I was referring to the one character running around in sports bloomers the whole game.
Don't let anyone print that either. I don't talk about bloomers. I don't even know what that is. I know the only bloomer I talk about, Bloomin' Onion.
You know,
I'm associated with these fucks.
Bloomers is that one thing that Japanese high schoolers always wear when they're doing school sports that really shows off the legs.
Shorts. Yeah, I wear those all the time. But yeah, 13 Sentinels, I thought, did an amazing job of juggling its 13 lead characters across literal time and space to tell a story that, without sounding pretentious, felt to me like either like a novel or felt like more like a Robert Altman or a Paul Thomas Anderson movie in a way that a lot of games don't do.
It was like a novel where the authors ripped all the pages out and rearranged them in random order, and then you had to figure it out from there.
Yeah, and you can kind of choose, there's certain roadblocks, but ultimately you were like choosing, do I want to stick with this person's story? Do I want to do like a little amuse-bouche of everything?
I like that. And what I did like about that is that would not work in any other medium, would it?
No.
That's
very gamic.
That's video gamey.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, give us one.
It's you.
I'll do one that's kind of, I think maybe you guys might have on your lists, but I think the Would You Kindly moment from BioShock might be one of the most memorable things to happen in games, mainly just because of its kind of commentary on what you're doing as a player, and how it makes you recontextualize what you've done through the entire game. I think a moment in a game that can make you think back on your entire journey rather than wholly just thinking about the destination you're at. Like, I have a lot of memorable endings in my list, but the Would You Kindly makes you think about everything in a different way. And I think that's really special.
Yeah, that's another thing that wouldn't have worked in any other medium, isn't it?
No.
Yeah. And another game where, despite the fact that we're almost 20 years after the release of the original BioShock, still a ton of moments from that game that I think about all the time. Would you kindly the first time Big Daddy shows up, the opening, like getting to the lighthouse and going down to Rapture.
I did a whole video on how I still think it's one of the best openings in video game history.
Yeah, it's really, really strong. Wonderfully
written. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow, I ask you? I'm sure we've all wondered that at one time or another.
Yeah, real good. Honestly, all the BioShock 2 DLC specifically sticks with me, and a lot of Infinite moments stick with me as well. That was a good series. All right,
yeah, good writing.
Question mark.
I hope.
Well, as I say, like, the moments that stick with you are what's important. So here's what I'm going to do. Marty, Jay, I want you to throw a game at me that you know I've played, and I will see if any moment jumps out instantly. It's like a word association thing.
Okay.
Oh,
Given the release of the new one, how about Ghost of Tsushima, the first one?
The bit where you're tied to a stake and the big baddie offers you water.
Oh,
Because I remember,
I don't remember that.
because I remember thinking, man, there's always going to be one bit in these sandbox games where the villain captures you and takes all your powers away for like 10 minutes.
Sure.
And I think the reason why they do that is because in a sandbox game like that, inevitably the whole game you're doing nothing but chump on the main villain. So I think they have to include that scene because otherwise the villain comes across sort of very ineffectual.
I think that's a thing you can literally do in every video game is when I feel super powerful, strip away my abilities for a little bit and like let me see how that works. I loved it in I don't think this is a spoiler for Silksong, but at one point you get captured or you can get captured and you lose your abilities for a little bit. But I thought that was such a great like, oh my God, I am naked, literally naked. What do I do? Like, I don't have my things and I need my things. And then when you get your things back, it's like such a hype ass moment.
Can you name another one from Silksong? That was going to be my ask for Yahtzee. Name one from Silksong that isn't the.
Oh, yeah. I guess one from
that
Silksong that
presenting.
isn't that. Yeah.
Cogwork Dancers, easy. Watch my latest semi-emblematic for further analysis of that.
Yeah. And that is a good
Very true.
melding of a boss fight with like narrative
Yeah,
elements
yeah.
to it.
Certainly is.
Can you think of any like how early do you think these kind of video game stories, like are there 8-bit stories that stuck with you? Is it I would say the 16-bit generation, the Super Nintendo generation is for me when stories started to like, you know, your Chrono Triggers, your Earthbounds.
Castlevania's when it started for me.
I mean, not so
Not
much
the OG,
in like
Yeah.
8-bit
Three.
arcadey games. If you ask me about like computer adventure games from the same period,
Sure.
I might have more answers for you because, of course, you know, as I've said before, PC games sort of started with all text stuff, text adventures and strategy games and stuff, and console games started with all action stuff, and they over time they sort of met each other in the middle.
Yeah. So stuff like the Tim Schafer, the
like
LucasArts or Sierra adventure games.
Yeah, Secret of Monkey Island, game I really enjoy. I really enjoy the whole insult sword fighting mechanic, which was a very clever integration of game design, like an atmosphere building and opportunities for some jokes as well. And I very clearly, like the moments that leap out of me, there's a bit in Secret of Monkey Island where you have to like convince this one burly dude to join your crew. And the only way he'll do it is if you prove to him that you're a courageous, manly man. And after much lead up, he opens this like multiple doors to open a cage that contains the beast that took his hand. And there's this, and like it cuts the main character's like face as the door opens, and then he looks confused, and then it's revealed that it's a parrot. And you tickle the parrot, and then the dude joins your crew.
That's a good
That's fun.
goof. Yeah. There's a lot
Subverting expectations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like Tim Schafer's career, like as a whole, almost all of his games have moments I glom onto, or the entire like Grim Fandango and Psychonauts are like two stories I still think about pretty often. Especially in terms of I don't think there's as many. I think a lot of the stories that when I think of like the best video game stories, very few of them are comedies or have like really rely on comedic elements. Whereas those Schafer and LucasArts games do.
Yeah. Stanley Parable.
Stanley Parable, yeah.
But you're right. There's not much. It's hard to do comedy, and there aren't that many straight comedy games. There's a few.
Yeah. Have you guys put any time into Baby Steps? Because I could not stand playing Baby Steps, but there's a few people I follow who have become obsessed with it, and that game seems like there's a ton of depth to it that I'm never going to explore, but I just want to watch video essays about.
I've gotten a fair bit into it. I mean, I kind of got stuck on sort of like a big beach level where there's a lot of sand you have to navigate.
Gotcha.
But there's a lot of weird story in it. And I'd like to kind of see the end of the game to put it all into context. But I was playing it on my Steam Deck a lot in the evenings, but then recently I switched to Hades 2, so I haven't been playing much of Baby Steps again.
Very good. That's a very good handheld game.
It certainly is.
Yeah, I think where we're at now, when we think of like good video game stories, does especially like in 2025, does your mind go to indie games first, or does it stick with AAA? Where do you think kind of the best modern storytelling is being done?
I still go back to Undertale, I suppose.
Sure. Yeah.
And oftentimes great storytelling can come only from a single person's vision, because it's creates a better human connection, I suppose.
I'm gonna
AAA games.
I'm gonna counter that.
Suffer as always from the committee design attitudes. Yes, go on.
Harry.
D&D is an entirely made up of collaborative storytelling, and I think Adventurers Night is a great example of how amazing stories can come from that collaboration. So I think even within game development, a lot of great stories can come from not just a singular vision, but through multiple people coming in and giving their own. Maybe not too many cooks.
That's an interesting kind of storytelling format to bring up.
I think the difference is that you need someone with final say. In D&D, that's the 100%. DM. I'm talking about games where someone says, let's just do a story about such and such. And someone says, hey, why don't we do such and such while we're doing such and such? And everyone goes, yeah, whatever, that'll do. And no one's really got the kind of passion to say, no, that would not work at all. Yeah. That would not work at all. Go away. You're fired. Find me someone who has better ideas than that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess there needs to be also a lack of some sort of parent company or invisible hand trying to change the workings of a story because it's either, we need to make this more mainstream or you need to shove in X, Y, and Z. I think there's a reason in the AAA space we get the best stories a lot of times come from games that have very clear creative leads behind them, whether it's a Kojima game or usually the first party Sony games have sort of an authored voice behind them, whether that's a Neil Druckmann or Cory Barlog.
Yeah, I'd say God of War Ragnarok certainly had a very clear direction in its narrative. I wish it had been a little more truncated, a little edited perhaps.
I would say God of War 2018 was kind of more successful in the maybe because it was surprising because it was a really big departure for God of War, but that was one of those stories that I was like, I didn't realize a God of War story had this in them to have sort of a tender reflection on parenthood and grief. And
it's the best thing in those games, in my opinion. I think the gameplay is the letdown in the modern God of War games. I agree with Yahtzee though. I think if it was a little bit more edited and the games were a bit shorter, I think it would be stronger for it.
Man, Greek mythology, am I right?
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It produces so many good games.
Yeah.
I was listening to the Rest of History podcast the other day, and they made the point that Greek mythology has always been rooted more in storytelling than in religious worship. And I think that's reflected a lot in how often people go back to it for inspiration.
Yeah.
And
I also didn't realize how much I know about Greek mythology until playing a thing like Hades and every character that pops up. I'm like, I know who you are.
I know.
I know what's going on over here.
I mean, did you know that Nemesis was an actual person and not just the name for a kind of person?
Damn. He's like the OG Nemesis.
Yeah. Fittingly, she's your rival character. How very fitting. And you can have baths with her and not see her nipples.
You need to turn your monitor. So if you get a long monitor, like a tall monitor, then you can see everything.
Does the water all then drip down to the bottom of the screen?
It does all drip. It gets your desk wet.
No, but I can see nips, so it's worth it.
I can see nips.
Oh no, all the water went down when I tried to reach for it. Now I know what Tantalus felt like.
I'm curious, are there any game stories that you kind of remember liking, but feel like maybe they were so long ago or kind of obscure that they're almost slightly out of grasp of your memory? Maybe because of a time you played it. I was mostly thinking there was after Myst came out, in the mid 90s. My dad and I played Myst, and we got really into it. It was one of the few games he played. And then there was this other point-and-click adventure game that came out very similar to Myst called Time Lapse. And you were pretty much going through different go into like different historical mythological time periods. So you would like explore Easter Island, and you would explore like a Greek temple, and you'd explore Atlantis. And this was one of those games where I remember like as a 9-year-old being like, this is the greatest story anyone has ever told. And I still think that, but I have not revisited it in 30 years. Probably better if I don't, but maybe I could just keep it there as a perfect little thing in my memory.
Well, yeah. I mean, good luck finding a copy of it now, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would run that on. It's probably abandonware somewhere.
Also, I think the memories you created with your dad in that will probably also have a strong influence on how you remember it. I think one of the best things that games can do, and it's the only medium that can do this, is the giving the space to create ludonarrative. So the story that comes from play, and games that have a lot of systems that are designed for this, like Grand Theft Auto Online and like Helldivers 2. Their systems are there to create story between you and your friends that you will remember as your own unique experience. And it's not necessarily anything being told by the game, but you're telling that story through your actions and gameplay.
Sure.
Well, yeah, that's kind of lost on me because I don't really like playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
It could even be like the circumstances, like Resident Evil 7 when it first came out. I played through like with a friend of mine in a single sitting, like one night. And I just remember like that was like a really impactful playthrough. And now whenever I think of Resident Evil 7, I also think of that playthrough and that person.
That game's really impactful, and I know that because when I first got the game, it was like fairly late in the day. So once I started playing, so I finished the prologue where you finish up like having a chainsaw fight with your mad wife, and then I stopped there, and then stopped for the day. And that night, I had a nightmare about chainsaw wielding mad wives.
Hell yeah, that's how you know.
It was so effectively unnerving. That's how I know.
Yeah, that's how you know something worked out well.
Yeah.
I'm also. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. After you.
I was gonna switch topics to another game.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, throw another game at me, and I'll give you the moment that leaps out.
The
next game you were going to bring
Red
up
Dead Redemption.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
The ending obviously is what immediately leaps out.
Sure.
Specifically, how the eventual fate of the main character is. Do we care about spoilers? It's a pretty old game now.
I think
Red Dead 1, we're fine. Yeah.
I would say both.
I think
of them.
even
Red Dead 2 at this point, 7, 8 years old.
It's just where, like, you walk out of your barn and get the motherfuck shot out of you.
Yeah. And
it's using the mechanic you've used all game.
It throws up Deadeye, but you're like, oh, these are too many dudes.
And the way they throw that up sort of presents it like maybe this is something you could survive if you do exactly the right thing. But then, no, you just get blasted into hell.
But you make that realization as you're doing it, which is exactly what John Marston's realizing. I think that's such a really beautiful moment. I also think Red Dead 2, the whole tuberculosis revelation about like a third into the game, and how that changes how Arthur then perceives everything, is such a powerful moment. And that isn't just a singular moment that happens. It then changes how you play for the rest of the game, because it kind of changes your priorities. I think that is genius. I don't think I've seen another game do that kind of your character has developed an illness and is going to die.
Yes.
And we know from a historical standpoint, they're like, oh, this guy's not going to get better. Like, clearly this is this is just a death sentence for this guy.
If you've ever played Citizen Sleeper 2, they do something pretty similar. Yeah, in, the last act of that game, which is very well done.
Countdown. Yeah, I agree.
There's also one piece of dialogue that there's of all the masses of dialogue in Red Dead Redemption 1, only one line suddenly I can recall to memory. It's one of the conversations that Marston has with the conman dude. What was his name?
I know the snake oil dude.
Yeah, the snake oil salesman, whatever his name was. And it's the John Marston calls him out for being a thief or like a vagabond. And the dude replies, John, if there's something I've learned is that no one's more judgmental of drinking than a former alcoholic.
I like it. Yeah.
Which
he has a lot of good lines.
Yeah. Quite well put. West Dickens. Thank you, Chad.
Oh man, I would not. You could give me a year, and I would not have come up with either of those names, the first or last name. Throwing another game at you. I was replaying this weekend Mario Galaxy 2 because they just re-released it for Switch. I haven't played it in a very long time. Do any of the Mario games have story moments that stick with you? Like Nintendo's kind of not a company known for that. Zelda, you could find a lot more, obviously, but like
Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door has
that's good.
Interesting story moments.
Yeah, honestly, all the paper, even like that Origami King, which had some real bunk gameplay, had some really great story moments.
And then Thousand Year Door is the best game for anyone who's interested in implied Princess Peach nudity.
Oh yeah, because isn't that they're like that AI is like really.
There's like three separate moments in that game where a computer sort of tricks Princess Peach into taking all her clothes off, and so it can gawk at her.
You're really after those digital nips this episode.
Implied digital nips, though.
Yeah,
we like them when they're covered up. If we saw them, we'd be like a dog that chases a car. We wouldn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it's the suggestion that's more erotic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's more about, for me, the narrative moments are about catharsis, I think, to Odyssey and being on the moon with Bowser and like doing the escape.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that moment. Everything else, a lot of the Mario stuff is like gameplay things. It's not necessarily tied to narrative. It's like, oh, this was a cool gameplay moment. This was very visual, rather than,
I remembered one cinematic moment from Mario Sunshine, which was when you have the boss fight with Petey Piranha. And you like jump on top of a rooftop to confront them, and then like you both sort of square off with each other, and then suddenly like the roof that you're both standing on cracks.
Yeah,
and then you both just look at it, and then very slowly both look up at each other, and it's a cute little like gag,
Looney Tunes
camera.
Gag. Yeah,
but that's for some reason it sticks out of my memory.
Yeah,
humanizes the characters as well.
Yeah, like the Mario games tend to have like a handful of small moments like that, like not the overall story, but like in Galaxy, when you realize like you get a little bit of like Rosalina's backstory, and you're like, oh, you are here alone and your parents are dead and they're buried under this tree. That is really depressing.
Yay.
Even like an Odyssey, I like the reveal at the end that's like Peach is like, I don't want to marry either of you. I just want to go off with my cool hat friend and go on my own little vacation.
And now I'm going to steal your car.
I'm going to steal your car. All the best relationships have one person stealing the other person's car. Everything's fine. The other thing recently I've been playing that made me remember how much I enjoyed a story the first time around was I'm playing the remastered Final Fantasy Tactics, and that is like arguably the best Final Fantasy story. It's very much, War of the Roses, Game of Thronesy. Like when you get in there, you're like, oh, that's exactly what they're doing. But they do it incredibly well, and especially when you think about the time period, doing it in the late '90s was very impressive. And they've added voice acting now. That is excellent across the board.
I have never played any Final Fantasy Tactics or really any of those sort of strategy RPG, whatever you'd call it. JRPG, but strategy, whatever you call that.
Have you never played Fire Emblem?
I tried Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah.
And I was sort of into like I'm a school teacher and I'm hanging out with all my underage charges. This is a bit suspect.
Yeah.
But then I got into a battle and I was like, I'm just not interested in this combat at all.
Sure. Yeah. It's I think it's an acquired taste.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Do we want to go to Super Chats, or did we have more examples we wanted to bring
There's
up?
a lot of Super Chats. I have a bunch of examples, but other Super Chats are literally bringing them up, so I don't want to step on anyone's toes, so I feel like this will be one of those very windy conversations. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Let's do that. Starting with Raven with $5 and Raven's word of the week. Week 20, absquatulate. As for today's topic, the first Telltale's Walking Dead game sticks. Raven will remember that. Well, fucking laugh it up, Raven, because I had to look that up again.
What is it?
It means to leave abruptly. It's sort of in the category of words like defenestrate, where you only use it if you want to show off.
Yeah.
That feels like all these words, all of Raven's words are show off words.
Well, there you go.
Telltale's Walking Dead is a great example, especially the late moment where spoilers, Lee gets bit and you can't do anything about it, and you have to kind of guide his final moments with Clementine and like what to impart on her.
Oh no.
Lee Bit Me. That really hurts. That was the precursor. Charlie Bit Me. Shout out to Charlie Bit Me.
Uh-huh.
Do you know that guy, Jay? They sound like you a little bit.
That is me.
You know what? If you could gaslight me into thinking you were either Charlie or the one who got bit.
That is me. Look at it.
Yeah.
If I had Halloween candy, I would.
Yeah. That was you last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's me right now. I just pull a baby up on my finger.
That's good stuff.
Oh dear. Magnus Burkhoff gives 100 Norwegian kroner and says, shout out to Super Bunny Hop's video on the literary and philosophical influences on Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding. Truly worth a watch. Related note, have you ever considered having guests on the podcast? Well, to take your first point, yes, I did watch that video. Rather enjoyed it. I do think he might give Hideo Kojima a little bit too much credit in the story writing area. But yes, interesting watch. And we've had guests on the podcast. We haven't had one in a while. But we've had, we had Stephanie Sterling on that one time early on. Like Ross Scott came on once.
Yeah. We had, what was the musician? Sound of?
Oh yeah, Miracle of Sound.
Miracle of Sound. That was it. Yeah.
I absolutely love Super Bunny Hop. Been watching his stuff for years. So love to have him on.
Yes. Yeah. He certainly likes Metal Gear a lot.
Metal Gear.
Cy Root, welcome to Tip Jar. Thank you very much.
Hey,
and then gives 199 and simply says the ending of Persona 3.
Ooh, that's a good one. I know. They just finished it for the first time, and Persona 3 is my least favorite of the three modern Personas. I don't think it's a bad game whatsoever. It's just my least favorite, but I do think it lands the plane in a way more impactful way than 4 or 5 do, personally.
Well, I still haven't gotten to the ending of Persona 3. To my mind, modern Persona just feels like they did Persona 3, then they did Persona 4, which was basically Persona 3, but with more stuff and better. Then they did Persona 5, which was basically Persona 4, but with more stuff and better. Which tends to,
each one gets less depressing.
Yeah.
Are they all about kids going inside people's brains to stop pedophiles? Because I've only played 5.
Well, they're all about kids exploring the metaverse while also managing their high school relationship dramas.
Yeah. Okay. And technically, only the first dungeon of Persona 5 is about stopping a pedophile.
When you really think about it, they're all about stopping pedophiles. Think about it.
Yeah, but it is. Most of them revolve around trying to use their powers to change the hearts of corrupted folks.
But in the end, they have to save the world from evil God.
Yeah,
every time with the power of friendship. Hjort87 gives 50 Danish kroner, says, Cyberpunk 2077, I accidentally picked the gun ending, and it was sad, but weirdly befitting. After that, I tried one of the others, but gun end sticks in my mind. First time I played Cyberpunk, I got the ending where, I think it's one of the endings where you side with the corpos, and where you have to go, like, you're in like a hospital for months and months.
Yeah.
I forget exactly why.
This got me. I haven't played Cyberpunk, so I don't have a ton to add to the Cyberpunk part. But this kind of got me thinking about: are there games with multiple endings where you personally gravitate towards one of the endings? Like,
yes. Silent Hill 2, very much so.
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, I guess which and it drowned the drowned ending.
I consider In Water to be the canon ending in my mind.
Sure,
it's the one that best fits for me.
Yeah,
there's the happy ending where he leaves, but I don't know. I don't think going through the plot of Silent Hill 2, that doesn't feel like something James ever intended to come back from.
No, it kind of feels like he needs to die. Like that is how his story ends. And obviously one spoiler because it's new, but Silent Hill F was another interesting one to where I know Yahtzee and I both finished the game the first time and then just Google the rest of the endings.
We finished the game, but it's very annoyingly the only ending you can get on the first run through is very bad and has no closure. And you have to play through the game like 3 times to get the ending with actual closure, which I've immediately balked at.
Yeah, it's funny. I was playing on New Game Plus this morning and this weekend to capture some footage for a video essay of mine. And it is funny how there's a lot of differences.
I'm sure.
There's enough to where I'm like, do I go through it again? I'm like, I don't think so. There's too many other games, but it is interesting. Like even from the get-go, when you are walking down into the city, like before the Red Lilies have even appeared, a bunch of the houses are now open and you can go in there and there's a bunch of shit that is doable that wasn't doable the first time.
the opening dialogue with your parents before you storm out and say "fuck you, Dad" is entirely different after
It's neat.
on the first one.
If you try to skip a cutscene, it gives you a little prompt. The scene is different than what you've seen before. Do you want to skip it? Or if it doesn't have that, it just lets you skip it, which is
that's cool.
But I don't think enough of the game would be different for me to want to play through it 4 times.
Yeah, it's not like a Nier Automata in my mind, which is also another game with an impeccable story.
Yeah, but importantly, Nier Automata also has fun gameplay, fun combat.
Does
and lots to explore. It's not just a linear run through with very annoying survival horror, like degrading weapons combat.
It's also got a bunch of implied tit, which we know is implied tits friend of the show. Implied tits.
Yeah. I'm more into the implied bum in Nier Automata.
Oh, a lot of
some of it.
It's not really implied.
Yeah, I don't think anything's implied.
Yeah, it's more of an overt, loud hailer statement of a bum. But there's some implied bum in Silent Hill F as well.
There you go.
Because there's some very short skirts. Anyway,
not
jackets. That we care about that sort of thing. Kurage, member for 10 months in tip jar. Thank you very much. And then Duke of Null gives $5 and says, The Consuming Shadows 10th anniversary is this November 20th. Wow. Would you consider doing a retrospective or commentary on it for a semi-emblematic? I didn't even know that the anniversary was coming up, but now you've mentioned it. Maybe, yeah.
That'd be fun for a little semi-ram.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be neat.
I do like a lot of the design ideas that went into that. I just wish it didn't look so horrible in
remaster.
Anyway, Sage 23-ish. Welcome to the value tier.
Hey, thanks,
Cheapskate. And then Blank, member for 22 months in the Green Gang. Prince of Persia's love story is still amazing. If you mean The Sands of Time, I agree. I again need a whole video on that. The most genuinely erotic love scene in video games, I once said. Of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
In the bath, yeah.
Yeah, all that business in the bath. And you don't see anything, but it's all implied tit and implied bum, which is what makes it good.
That makes his nards hard. I really like Farah is such a great character writing wise, but mechanically she's a fucking towel. Like,
you know what I like about her writing in the first game is that she has flaws. Yeah. She's not just, the be all and end all, succeed and get this love interest as your reward. Perfect pedestal character. She's a flawed character. She's got flaws. The prince has got flaws. They bang their flaws together, and they bang some other things together.
They're implied flaws.
What sticking with
no flaws in those implied objects.
Sticking with Ubisoft, is there a besides Beyond Good and Evil, is there a Ubisoft story that you kind of hold up as like a top tier creme de la creme story? Any of the ACs, any of the Far Cry's?
Assassin's Creed 2, probably. And again, there's a very specific line of dialogue. You need more outlets, Ezio. I have outlets. I meant besides vaginas.
That's not even implied.
That's a good
That's
one.
overt.
That is a great fucking line on every level.
Also, it's just really cool that Ezio is a character you literally are with from birth to death over those 3 games. That's like
Assassin's Creed, as a franchise, has yet to produce a protagonist as involving as Ezio, I would say.
I agree. Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah.
It's on my list. I just chose not to mention it. You brought it up before I did.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. You would have brought it up eventually. There's no way we'd get out of
it. It's literally the top of my list. It's number 1, but I haven't mentioned it.
With a bullet. Yeah.
And what's the moment that leaps out to you from that?
Oh, yeah. Is there one moment?
Good question.
For me, it's probably...
Paige. Well, it's Paige being captured for me, and him
being captured. Okay.
In my video, I mentioned how him mechanically, once he's removed from you, you also lose the ability to do everything that he would do for you.
Yeah.
Then they immediately give you Triple H, but it's Paige.
Triple H, the wrestler?
Yeah. No, the character.
It's Double H, not Triple H. Sorry, Double H.
But the scene in Beyond Good and Evil I remember is when the baddies attack the orphanage and you're too late to save it and you come back and everyone's been kidnapped and Jade has a very humanizing moment of self-admonishment in which she admonishes her dog but you can tell she's actually admonishing herself.
Sure.
Yeah. And then going to the moon,
great.
like upgrading the beluga, and then going to the moon is like a crazy moment for back then, anyway.
Spider William 13 gives $5. It says, "The Last Day of June. Great wordless storytelling. I cry every time." I've never heard of that. Although
I've
your
had
super
that
chat,
game
I think your
downloaded
super
on my
chat,
PlayStation.
I think that super chat was a haiku.
The Last Day of June. Great wordless storytelling. I cry every time.
cry
And I
every
think it's
time.
purposely a haiku with the slashes.
Yeah.
Oh my, Spider William 13.
William,
You cheeky
Whoa.
boy.
you diabolical.
I know nothing about The Last Day of June. What is that game?
I literally don't. It is. I have it downloaded on my, or not downloaded. It's in my library. It must have been a free PlayStation Plus game at some point, and then I was just like, redeem, and I've never played it. I have no idea. That's not helpful, but yeah.
What are games that have made you guys? Have you ever cried at a game?
Yes.
What games
Shall
have
I
made
list
you
them?
cry?
Shall I list them
Yeah, let's each list our crying games off.
off? Spiritfarer, an easy one.
Fair.
I cried at the ending to Infamous 2, if you can believe that.
What did you cry
Both of them,
on the
actually.
ending of Infamous 2? I don't
It's
remember the
just-
It was
Infamous 2
over.
that well.
It was over.
That's a really good game. The first game I ever cried at was probably the first Wing Commander game, because when you die, every time a character dies, there's a full-on funeral scene, and that game is very focused on cinematic storytelling.
Mm.
Okay. I'm trying to.
Well, I've got mine if you need some time to.
Oh yeah,
think.
what's your what have you cried at?
The first game to make me cry was the ending of Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I know you don't really like the storytelling in that, Yahtzee, but
you little crybaby tart.
that scene at the end with the trees grown and you see all of the characters age and then they say goodbye to the mother. Oh my god, it's so good. And recently I replayed spoilers, Marvel's Spider-Man, like the PC port, and that entire game is actually incredible. It's really, really good. And the scene at the end when Peter has to choose to let Aunt May die so he can save everyone else is so powerful. Like, it's a really, really good scene. And it made me tear up. It's good.
Yeah. Look, I think
I could never tear up listening
in Claire Obscure this year. I think I did.
Okay.
I want to say
because of all the French people, that would make me cry.
Because I put on my baguette outfit and I had to fight that mime, and I was so proud of myself for killing the mime that I was like, I'll cry a little bit.
I had to wear that necklace of onions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like what French people do. Well, anyway, we'll get back to that because 2 super chats down. There's an Expedition 33 related ones, but before that, Double Finger gives €2 and says, "Jamate, what did you do to have your mum lose her faith?"
It wasn't me, and you would not want to know because it's not very nice.
We never did Halloween when I was a kid just because, like, nobody else did it in our neighborhood. We'd feel like idiots. But where I live now, it goes very hard on Halloween. Like, the whole street gets closed off. It's one of those. It's a California suburb with a lot of stay-at-home parents with bugger all to do.
Great. And as a heads up to most people, if someone says an incident caused me to lose my faith, it was probably something really hardcore. So probably not just something to bring up right offhandedly. You can just leave it as it is.
It was the ending of Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
I lost my faith in humanity when Trump got in the second time.
Sure.
Hey, boom.
Yeah. I just keep losing it every day. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I never really got it back.
Every day I wake up, I'm like, this will be the day everything turns around, and it's not.
No. Perhaps this is the time the cunt finally dies.
Yeah.
Ooh, politicizing.
Ooh.
The Man in Black gives $10 and says, "The story of Expedition 33 is one of the most emotionally engaging roller coasters I've ever experienced in gaming. I know Yahtzee doesn't like the ending Tron 3000, but I think that game earns it."
So don't spoil anything, please, because I am very close to getting it and going for it. So
yeah,
I think multiple endings work for me in the specific cases where the plot does not hinge, like what the plot's actually about does not hinge on the ending. Like Silent Hill 2's got multiple endings, and that works for me because the whole point of the game is resolved before the ending. The endings just change how James sort of, moves on, whether or not he redeems himself.
Yeah.
A lot of games that have multiple endings where literally different things happen, and you're supposed to take away a different message, and that does not work for me.
Yeah, I think with zero spoilers, I think one of the reasons Claire Obscure's choice does work is because even now, knowing both outcomes, it is like a truly difficult choice. Most of these choices, you can kind of get to a point and be like, all right, I've already made up my mind. I know I'm siding with X, Y, or Z. But with that, it's like, damn, both of these, like...
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, really hit hard. Good game.
Dr. Theo gives $5 and says, Deadlock and Dead by Daylight are the only multiplayer games that got me invested in the story of the world. And if you know PvP games, that's a huge achievement. I was quite invested in the characters in Team Fortress 2.
Sure.
It's not really like meaningful storytelling, but, they're fun characters.
Yeah, it's nice in like Deadlock when because of the lore of specific characters, they'll have specific dialogue lines with each other, and it's actually interesting. I'm interested to hear that you're invested in the lore of Dead by Daylight. Is there lore in Dead by Daylight of like interconnecting characters and shit?
They made a whole game.
Like, Michael Myers once had sex with the Xenomorph, and they hate each other now, and implied nipples.
Did you play the casting of Frank Stone? That's like a whole narrative-based adventure game set in the Dead by Daylight universe.
Yeah, isn't that
crazy?
The Supermassive, the Until Dawn team?
Yes. I mean, it sucks, but it represents the Dead by Daylight lore.
Yeah, it's connected to.
I think that's kind of a lot of the things with like the lore behind. You said Team Fortress or an Overwatch or something, where like all of it feels very disconnected from the actual gameplay, and when you're playing
supplemental.
The game, yeah, but as a supplement, it could be really interesting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, Majora's Mask, Anju, and Cafe, tedious but endearing.
Yeah, that's always one of the probably one of the most memorable side quests for me. Majora's Mask is a good one that maybe that's less story and more of like the mood has stuck with me. And sometimes mood and tone and story can kind of entwine, but yeah, especially that final thing of reuniting two star-crossed lovers in the final moments before a world ends.
And the thing about mood and all of that is that that's nice and all, but it really does just come down to specific moments for me. The thing that you hold in your mind's eye.
Yeah. Well, speaking of reuniting characters, the Grub Father in Hollow Knight.
That's good stuff. Love that Grub Father.
Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, Rosalina's origin in Mario Galaxy, so tear-jerking.
Yeah, buried parents under a tree.
Man, dead parents in a Mario game, which creates the implication that every character also has parents, and now we must ask ourselves what became of them. Where's Peach's parents? Where's Mario's parents?
If they're not grieving over the loss of their parents, are they bad children? Maybe they had bad parents, but they had a bad upbringing, so
maybe they're estranged.
Yeah.
Maybe in that universe, everyone's like an octopus. When you give birth, you just die.
Do octopi die when they give birth? That's not good.
I believe so. According to a video I watched today, that may have been disinformation.
Anyway, Hun Bullseye, member for 22 months in the Green Gang. The soldiers letters in Far Cry 3 stuck with me. Well, not with me, because I don't remember that at all.
I literally don't know what that is. Yeah.
I remember the weird Australian guy who implied like molested your friend.
Yeah, the only thing I remember from Far Cry 3 is the villain. Like Voss is like the thing that.
Then he dies to like the 2/3 mark.
Yeah.
Patent Pike gives $2 and says, Disco Elysium shout out compromised skills moment.
Yeah,
Disco Elysium in general, just a great example.
I think of the moment where you sing karaoke in the hotel bar.
Yeah. You put characters in a game singing karaoke? That's good shit.
Yeah, Yakuza always works in Yakuza.
Yeah. I think those are
in Hades 2, when Artemis shows up at the home base and you can sing along with her for a bit.
That's right. Yeah, you can go hang out with her.
What's the stats you can lean into in Disco Elysium where it's like all of the supernatural stuff and you start seeing all of the supernatural shit? That is
the visions. Yeah.
That is like my favorite stuff. Like the weird Spider-Man in the church. Oh god, that game's so good.
Glad to see everyone that made that game got treated very well afterwards.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the sequel.
Sir Knight5067 gives $2. Says Spiritfarer has stuck with me, especially Gustav. Yes, very tear-jerky game. That.
Which one was Gustav?
I can't remember. Oh, was he the bird dude?
Yeah, that game's great.
There's always Alice the Hedgehog for me.
Oh my god!
It's just that moment when she remembers who you were in just the moment right before she goes.
Yeah, that's some real shit. Alzheimer's is a beast.
H2G2 researcher gives £10 and says, not a game story, but the scene in Austin Powers where news of a nameless mook's death is broken to his family has forever changed how I feel playing the FPS and action games which have you kill mooks. I had an idea for a concept game once where it was like a stealth game and you had to choose whether to dodge everyone or ghost them or kill them and get them out of the way. But every time you killed someone, you had to stop and the very slow scroll text would tell you that character's entire backstory.
There is a mod that does this.
You could quit the game and go back in and the game would go, right, well, where were we? And just play the scroll again.
I can't remember what game it is, but somebody's every time you kill a mook, you have to watch their funeral and see parts of their life, their favorite moments in their life.
The Last of Us Part 2 did it did a job of that by just giving everyone a name. And so you kill someone, you'd hear other people in the encounter go like, oh my God, they killed Kevin. Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin.
There's the sorrow in MGS3 as well. A good application of that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a mod for Red Dead 2, apparently.
Oh, there you go.
Red Dead 2, cool.
Yeah.
RoboNob the Snob gives €20. Says, I love when a game clearly conveys how the story will end, and when you reach that final boss, it feels like everything comes together. It does, however, need an iconic track, Plin Plin Plon for Dark Souls, the boss in MGS3, etc. I don't think it's actually called Plin Plin Plon. RoboNob the Snob.
It might as well be.
I like Plin Plin Plon.
Plin Plin Plon.
Plin Plon.
Yeah, a nice iconic music track always helps with these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you're fighting fucking Ocelot at the very end of MGS4 and the music track changes to Snake Eater at one point.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah, have a motif that returns from the opening of the game. Get that in the ending. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 does a great job of that by just going through the entire series. It very much feels like this is my final game ever. And then he went on to make several more games.
Then he made a million more games, but no more games about Solid Snake.
That is true.
So so it was Solid Snake's last game.
Yeah.
And Otacon's last game, which is the real tragedy for me. Witticism gives $5. Says, a weird one for me is Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. That story is incomprehensible until the end, but it actually somehow ties itself up neatly. Well, shame I didn't get to the end then, apparently. I just found it incomprehensible.
It is kind of incomprehensible, for being honest, but it does. It does a really good job of tying things together. That is one of those games that's extremely fucking silly, but also has extremely grounded and emotional moments. Despite the fact that you've literally listened to Limp Bizkit at one point.
That's cool.
Yeah. Alex Armstrong gives $5. Says, Starstruck Vagabond's ending had me in happy tears. All those relationships, sacrifices, and hard work made me feel I made the story of my captain's life. Well, that's very gratifying, Alex Armstrong. That's great. Absolutely my intention.
I love that.
Yes. Shawshank 71. Starstruck. Oh, yeah. I was going to say it's currently on sale in the Steam Autumn sale, but it isn't anymore because that ended an hour ago.
Oh, fuck.
So if you didn't buy it this morning for 50% off, you'll have to wait till the next sale. Idiot.
They shouldn't be allowed to call it the autumn sale when it's 85 degrees where I live.
It's gross. It was getting fucking cold as hell in the mornings around here, at least.
Do you want to swap? My God.
Well, I will be. I'll be swapping it for Milwaukee in a couple of weeks.
Oh, true.
Beautiful, sunny Milwaukee.
Shashank 7170 gives 40 rupees, I think, and says, Umineko, same writer as Silent Hill F, but it's a visual novel. Love it.
Yeah, I have that guy's, that's Ryukishi 7, I believe is his name. And I have his visual novels all they're on my big list of things to get to because I really did like the Silent Hill F story, and everyone says that his visual novels are incredible. But the pile of things to get to is never ending.
Large.
It's a very large pile.
Alex Armstrong gives $2. It says Makoto Makimura's story from Yakuza 0 to Kiwami 2.
Yakuza does a good job also of like, not from birth, but being with a character over the course of decades and seeing how they changed, you know, like
it really felt kind of weird for Kazuma Kiryu to be there in Like a Dragon 2, because it really felt like he was there past the point of all his characterization.
Sure.
And he was just sort of there now.
I have cancer now. I need to beat men up.
Trippy Sponge gives $4.99 and says, Yahtzee, I love the stories of both Catherine and Sorry We're Closed. I played them both from your recommendation. Any other similar recommendations? Well, that's awkward, because those are like the only two games in that specific subgenre of weird, sexually charged, like neon descents into the underworld.
Yeah. Yeah, Catherine has some of like the most realistic moments of like decisions a couple needs to make. And
Sorry We're Closed Sorry We're Closed is a very unique sort of persona, like that's more sort of got a sort of survival horror combat system.
Sure.
Actually, it's kind of Hades-like as well now I'm thinking about it.
Oh, nice. Hades good.
Yeah. So yeah, try Hades. And then have a bath with everyone in Hades 2.
I guess another... it doesn't feel exactly like those, but 1,000 Times Resist is a story. Visually, it shares a little bit in common, but is also one of those stories that once you start putting the threads together, it's incredibly powerful. Great, one of the best stories of the last few years. IMO.
Jess is one of Jess's favorites.
It's a great game.
Still haven't gotten around to it. Robonob the Snob gives €10, says, also I'd say every gaming moment can be 100% more memorable if I actively have a part in it, rather than watching a cutscene. I haven't even played Halo Reach and consider its ending iconic. Yes, there's a few of those. Having to shoot the boss at the end of MGS3 is often cited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how you can still move around and all the story bits in Half-Life.
Yeah. Yeah, even Hades, Hades does a great job of, you know, the story is always reflecting the choices you made in a run. And so it is always cool to make a run, to choose to meet X, Y, or Z, and then go back home and then have X, Y, or Z show up there and directly talk about what happened at the run. Like it really does feel like you have a hand in authoring it.
The amount of dialogue in Hades is good.
The flow charts for their dialogue must be insane.
I've played, I don't even know how many runs in Hades 2 I've done, and they still haven't repeated any lines.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine.
Crazy.
Blistered Soul is $1.99 and says, Half-Life 1 plus DLC's perspective shifts are enriching to story. Yeah. Although only the first game is actually by Valve, and every subsequent game that was from a different character's perspective was by a different developer. Mostly Gears.
Some of them.
Yeah.
And didn't some of that stuff kind of get retconned? Like, oh, this is Barney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in Opposing Force, they're sort of operating on the assumption that the administrator is the G-Man, and which a lot of people assumed after the first game, but then in Half-Life 2, they retconned it. So the G-Man is like this otherworldly entity, and the administrator was actually Dr. Breen.
Sure.
It's it's confusing.
Yeah, that can be tough. That's trying to tell one singular connected story over the course of several games, over the course of several decades.
Several decades, but only 2 games. Whoops.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Alex Armstrong gives $5. Says more video game development, but Console Wars documentary and how Tom Kalinske helped bring Sega and Sonic to popularity, and how Sega of Japan ruined it all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's an entirely different topic of the most interesting stories in nonfiction stories in game development in the medium.
Yes. It's an industry that never learns anything, tee-hee-hee.
You should coin that.
I believe we have a t-shirt along such lines.
Damn.
Oh, yes.
A tee-hee-hee shirt.
Apoplect gives $9.99 and says, need to say I appreciate how unapologetically political and progressive you all are. So many hobbies have disgustingly conservative bents, including gaming. Thank you all for having integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much. I guess it resonates to me.
On it, but it's also impossible to completely ignore.
I guess it bugs me because there's this I seem to have this something about me that makes people assume I'd have alt-right sympathies. People who don't know me well.
Sure.
Possibly because I'm from like the early days of the internet and was like right up the front of that fucking all those angry YouTuber thing that, and a lot of whom now seem to have blotted their copybooks, as it were.
Yeah, that's a good term.
I just can't imagine wanting to like worse things for your fellow humans. I just think that makes you a piece of shit.
Well, that tends to be my attitude. Yes. I mean, I would thought that would kind of go without saying. Maybe let's not wish worse things for people.
Yeah, it's almost like it's the billionaires that are making everything wrong for everyone and not the poor people.
How about we make things nicer for as many people as possible? How about that?
Look at that.
Anyway, that'll liven up the comment section. RoboNob the Snob gives €5. Says last one, using the credits creatively. Never going to forget Nier Automata playing its title credits a second time to tell you things are going to get worse.
Really need to finish that.
No, it's not video games, but remember like the Naked Gun and Hot Shots, they'd always mess with the credits at the end. So if you'd stick around and keep reading the credits and look for all the secret gags.
Yeah, it'd be like
that's right.
Best boy, worst boy, better boy, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And at one point there just be a recipe for lemon brownies or something.
Yeah. Delicious.
I've seen video games do things like I want to say first one that comes to mind, Sam and Max Hit the Road, where you can shoot the names of all the people as they scroll past.
Yeah, that became a thing that I think the Smash games do that. Katamari, I think, does that.
Yeah, Katamari, you can roll up the names of all the people who worked on the game.
Astrobot, you can like smash as many as you would smash, you'd get points. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it, but Nier Automata has its final credits are like the best use of credits in a game ever. It's wild what they do with those credits. Real good stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Squirtle Squad 420 gives $2 and says Portal 2, the part where he kills you. Yes, that was a good goof.
Oh yeah, we didn't bring up Portals. Yeah, in terms of stories with comedic bent,
great moments.
Yeah.
But also they have really good emotional moments as well. Good games.
Yes, good games. Have we said that enough? Those are good games.
You know what? We're going to create a list of good games, and Portal, congrats, you're on the list.
Bad games, but with good story moments. Can you
Portal?
name any? No. Can you name any game that is like a bad game, but it has a good story moment?
Hellblades.
I mean, I'd say Disco Elysium. I mean, there's not much in the way of gameplay. It's literally just a story that you go through.
You're playing a visual novel that you can move, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's something. There's a difference between light gameplay elements and bad gameplay elements, right?
Planescape Torment had a really good story and sort of like a token combat element that we could have done without.
Sure.
Soma has a great story, and the like monster hiding gameplay sucks ass.
Yeah, that's a good. To
the point that they made a version of that game that took out all the monster hiding gameplay. And what do you know? Nothing of value was lost.
I think for me, it would be I really liked the atmosphere and the narrative being told in Lorelei and the laser eyes, but I thought the gameplay, like how you interacted with that game, made me feel sick.
Yeah, sucks balls.
You don't want to just use one button?
Fuck right off.
What about one button? Honestly, Silent Hill F, like combat-wise, I was like, I don't want to be here anymore, but I do want to keep soaking in this atmosphere and story.
I mean, is there any method by which you can control a game that doesn't have more than one button at this point? Is there anything left that just has one button that Lorelei the Lazy Eyes would do really well?
Lorelei and the Lazy Eyes is pretty good. Yeah, if you don't like that game, that's a back pocket one.
I keep saying that by accident.
That's good.
Anyway, Gay Bear Daddy 2, member for 22 months in tip jar. And then it's Tsunami Dusha. And guess how much he gives us?
About $20.
15?
No, it's $20.
Oh shit!
Dumb bastard.
And guess what he says as he gives us the $20.
You're welcome.
He actually said something. He writes down his social security number.
He said nothing, as well you knew.
Fuck.
And then Alex Armstrong comes back with $5 and says, mate goes for Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, the former being one of the few Fire Emblems with a direct sequel and a lot of world building between the two. Yeah, well, thanks for helping us catch up with your mate, Alex Armstrong.
GameCube games, I want to say. I never played those. Three Houses and Awakening were the only ones I've.
Hi. Fungus Finding is $2. It says, Freelancer was mind-blowing as a kid. Dyson Sphere.
I never played Freelancer. No. I did edit a script at The Escapist. One of our last videos was about Freelancer, and I remember learning a little bit. That was Chris Robinson, I believe, the guy who's now doing Star Citizen, who's fleecing everyone with Star Citizen.
Yeah, he was Chris Roberts.
Putting him mildly.
Mr. Wing Commander.
Yeah. Wing Commander.
Yeah, and he directed the Wing Commander movie because he's like, I could direct a movie, and it was just a very bad movie. Don't do that.
Well, wasn't there a Wing Commander game that had a lot of FMVs in it? Maybe he thought that was what he needed.
Commander, yeah.
I think like Mark Hamill was.
Yeah,
Mark Hamill's the main character, I believe.
Yeah, he's the titular Wing Commander.
He's Johnny Wing.
And his wife, Sarah Commander.
Where was I? Gay Bear Daddy 2 gives $10. Says, me being a Final Fantasy nerd, Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker, the final climb of the 6.0 quests and the subsequent scene still sticks in my memory. Even the final boss makes my vision blurry after I pull my limit break 3. Shouldn't pull your limit break 3 too much, Gay Bear Daddy 2. You'll go blind.
Jay, as the resident MMO fan, are there MMO stories, story moments? What's the MMO with the best story you think you've played?
An MMO with the best story, for me, probably. And this isn't just because we're doing the documentary. I genuinely think Guild Wars 2 has the best story over the
for me,
years.
For me, saying like MMO with the best story, it's like saying the microwave with the best digital clock.
Well, you say that, but I think Guild Wars 2 tells its story in a really interesting way. I think Final Fantasy 14 also does that. World of Warcraft has been dropping the ball on that for the last decade, but has some really cool, interesting moments. I've been working with Java to piece together some of the narrative stuff for the documentary, and like revisiting it is just like super powerful because the payoff takes place over decades, and it can be really powerful.
Hell yeah.
Alex Armstrong gives $2, says second mate loves Sekiro's scenes with Ishin and Inosuke. Second mate, Alex Armstrong, I had no idea you were a captain of a ship.
Poop deck and whatnot. I don't know a lot of nautical terms, if I'm going to be honest. Starboard?
Well, I know you have a first mate, you have a second mate. Unless it's like an official naval ship, in which case you'd have like a first lieutenant and a second lieutenant and a third lieutenant.
Me and Yahtzee have been on a string of ships. We went on a fucking boat tour.
Yeah, when we were in where were we when we were doing that? Baltimore.
And we got to see Suggy's World, and it was great.
It was nice. And we went to ate at the Hard Rock Cafe.
It was a day.
It wasn't as interesting, but still.
No.
Anyway. Gay Bear Daddy 2 comes back with $5, says, additional moment, final boss of Okami. When the mid-fight cutscene shows, followed by the track The Sun Rises, is peak ending. Certified 10 RM piece.
Which ending?
It's such a long
Okami ends
game,
3 times.
Yeah. So you have to fight that god 9-headed dragon 1,000 times.
I fucking love Okami, man. It's so good.
Listen, I'm a sucker for a game where you got to bring life back to a dead world, where you do something and then trees bloom. Water flows, little animals pop out.
Yeah. Beery gives 20 Danish kroner, says, just wanted to throw a Spiritfarer into the ring.
Good game.
So it's already been thrown into the ring, Beery. It had barely spent any time out of the ring. It had only just gotten out of the ring, and you just threw it straight back in.
Oh my God, get back in there, Spiritfarer. You got to go another 10 rounds.
Kicked it back in.
You get right back in there and win, Spiritfarer. Anyway. Richard Wells gives $10, says, 1 week I played To the Moon. Then to recover emotionally, I played Gone Home, thinking it was a scary game, and then spent the weekend on the floor staring into space.
To the Moon is really good.
Yeah.
Was it
Gone Home's I think Gone Home's a bit overrated.
I think Gone Home at the time felt really revolutionary or really different, whereas now I think a shit ton of games have done the same thing better.
I mean, it pulls an effective prank by letting you think it's going to be a survival horror, like House Explorer, and it isn't.
Or it makes you even think, I'm going to get to this attic and I'm going to find a dead body.
It's like, we tricked you into getting invested into your sister's lesbian relationship.
Yep.
Anyway, Nico Hornick gives $2 and says Far Cry 3 still sticks out to me, and Spec Ops, meaning
Spec Ops,
the
definitely.
line, I assume.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy if it was one of like the PS1 Spec
Yeah,
Ops.
nobody remembers that.
Yeah, Spec Ops line. Yeah, 100%. I think we did a whole episode on Spec Ops line a couple of years ago. Good game.
Yep. Alex Armstrong gives $2. Says every moment for the Far Cry 5's Nick Rye is thumbs up, Marty.
Oh yeah. Oh, just I get a thumbs up. Yeah, Nick Wright. He was the pilot, I think, in Far Cry 5. I really liked Far Cry 5, but a lot of time.
I never played 5.
I liked it more than 4. But I liked it less than 3.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 felt fresher. Again, that might be one of those gone home things where it was like, ooh, we haven't done this a lot before.
I actually really liked the critical narrative of Far Cry 3. I liked the journey the main character goes through. From spoiled trust fund kid to mercenary badass. Ryan Betts gives $2, says, to this very day, can't stop thinking about Soma. Oh, yeah. Existentialism.
Yeah. Real good.
Gotta love some of that.
And a similar, in a similar vein, the story for Amnesia 2 also stuck with me. A Machine for Pigs.
Yeah, that does stick with you.
Yeah.
Hey, industrialized slaughter. And Nico Hornick gives $2, says, cried at the Modern Warfare 3 ending. Soap. You were the only one, Nico Hornick. Maybe some people cried in relief that it was over.
I'm trying to think, because even like the Oorah Boys Club games, even your Gears of War have their emotional moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's got. I mean, let's be fair. It's got one emotional moment when Dom is reunited with his wife.
Yeah,
and that's the only one that springs to mind.
That is the only one. That is the only one I'm thinking of. Yeah. It's a nail on the head.
Hawkeye Goth gives 50 Swedish krona. Says Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky third. First, it broke my spirit, and then it had the best ending I've ever seen in a JRPG. I cried. Did you kill God with the power of friendship in that game?
I feel like this one's more grounded because I think this one tells like it's like a 10-game story of a single ongoing conflict between multiple parties and generations and stuff. So I'm sure God slips in there every once in a while that you have to kill them.
Yeah, probably. Nico Hornick then gives $2. Says, recent game, SF6, cried and will stick.
Street Fighter 6 made you cry?
Street Fighter 6 made you... okay.
Cried and will stick.
I don't know what that means at all.
Do Street Fighter games have stories? That wasn't like a sarcastic thing.
I mean, SF6 has like a single-player campaign. That's the full-on story mode. There's a rival character.
What else could SF6 be?
Star Fox 6.
Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry 6. The 6th
Stephen Fry 6, yeah.
Yes, the 6th Stephen Fry.
Oh my God.
He's like Doctor Who. He regenerates.
Yeah.
Anyway. Mirith, member for 2 months in the Green Gang. Mario has no belly button, therefore has no parents.
Wait,
does he have no belly button? I mean,
because you could be shirtless Mario in Odyssey.
Bring up nipple Mario from Odyssey. I think that's what I might be referring to.
Bring up the Odyssey costume in his underpants.
That can't be true. If you don't have a belly button, you don't got no parents.
Well, you had no umbilical cord, which means you weren't attached to.
Doesn't mean I got no parents. Just means I don't got an umbilical cord.
It means you weren't birthed in the traditional way.
Oh no, his swimming shorts there are just so high that you just can't see his belly button.
Oh,
you think it's high-waisted?
Ambiguity.
Yeah. He's pulling that shit up. He's cranking it up to the pits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping the boys nice and snug.
He's cranking it.
Anyway, Shashank7170 gives 40 rupees. Says Genshin Fiorina's story in the Fontaine arc. Oh, no one cares about your gacha bollocks.
Listen, Genshin has left an impact.
Yeah, in the same way that punching someone in the face does.
In the same way that the meteor killed the dinosaurs, it's influenced so much shit. Have you seen that other one that's basically GTA Genshin? And they ripped animations from Spider-Man?
From like Spider-Man and from Uncharted 4. Yeah.
It's wild. How is that? How have they not been sued to fuck?
Like the exact animation of like the Spider-Man 2 symbiote, like smashing dudes down is just
literally like the swinging, the animations are 1-to-1. It's nuts.
Yeah. Someone's going to jail. Apparently not a gotcha game.
LOTR fan 193 gives 4.99 and says Persona 5 Royal. I was completely taken in by the story and foolishly believed the game killed Joker. Well, in fairness, the method by which it turned out the game didn't kill Joker was a little bit contrived.
Yep. Every time I get to that, I'm like, this seemed insane. Like, this could have gone so poorly.
Well, they took a very long time to explain it, as I recall.
Yeah.
There were diagrams and everything.
I had a friend who was a big Persona fan and imported Persona 5 in Japanese because it came out like 6 months or a year before it came out here.
Wow.
Played through the game in Japanese. Got to the part where Joker gets his head blown off and was like, what just happened? It had none of the dialogue around it, the understanding of like situationally, oh, this is like a plan they concocted. It was like, is he dead? Like, what's happening?
That's dedication, by the way. Big respect to your mate for that.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to understand it without the lengthy dialogue explanation.
Nope.
I barely understand it now. Alex Armstrong gives $2, says 12 minutes is certainly unforgettable. Waka waka. It's certainly the only reason anyone still talks about it.
Yeah, a lot of sister kissing.
And then CC gives $4.99 and says, I'm sure someone's brought up at least one of these, but Final Fantasies 6, 7, and 9 have stuck with me. Any Final Fantasy that has stuck with you? Yeah, 6 certainly sticks with me, especially the bit where the motherfucking world ends halfway through the game.
Yeah. 6. Honestly, story moments from 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 have all stuck with me. I've also replayed them all recently. 10, especially the ending of 10, is like really powerful, I think.
I need to pick one to start. That's my thing.
You just gotta start at 1.
I've always liked that little dude.
Work your way backwards.
That little guy,
Vivi.
I've always liked him.
Yeah,
Vivi.
I've told you before, start with 6. Start with 6.
Honestly, you can start with 6.
Yeah. They're all like self-contained narratives, so it really doesn't matter.
Start with 10 too.
Where's a good place to get 6? Do I have to get it physically or is it on like Steam or something?
No, you can on Switch.
There's a version on Steam.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's like an HD.
Maybe I'll bring it to
it's
personally, I'm more nostalgic for like the classic pixel art look, but you know, whatevs. Alex Armstrong gives $2. Says Shadow of Mordor's way you make organic orc stories. The Nemesis system, in other words. Alex Armstrong. Yes, it was very nice.
It was nice.
Well, shame.
I wonder, was it great? Has anyone gone back and replayed these games recently?
Yes.
Like, does the Nemesis system hold up, or is it a thing that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
Okay, it's not just a thing that's kind of like in our minds to where it's like we've all told ourselves the Nemesis system is really cool, and it's still really cool.
No, yeah, Game Maker. I spoke about it briefly in my patent video, and then Mark Brown has an entire episode on how it works. It's a very good system. It's a shame no one else can do it.
And I thought the overall story kind of sucked, and the gameplay wasn't much to write home about. So by process of elimination, yes, it must have been good. Because
the reason we keep talking about the game.
Yeah, because that's why I liked it. I said, I love the orcs. They're great. I want to hang out with them. Nico Hornick comes back with $5. Says, going back to one of my previous points, I hate the gameplay of Spec Ops, but it boosts the story, gets under your skin, makes me forget shit gameplay. Sure. Well, as it's often been argued that was kind of the point.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I buy into that, but yeah.
I also think its gameplay, like its shooting isn't terrible. It is just, it does literally nothing new with the combat. Like, it is like the most by the numbers.
Most FPS games do that because where do you go from point gun at man?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, because I replayed it a few years ago, and I think the combat is like fine. It's not good. It's just like totally fine, but it's just the story that obviously. It's the generic
contemporary war shooter that it needed to be to convey the fact that it's a deconstruction of contemporary war shooters.
Yep.
Anyway, it was like Scream, you know? It had to be a conventional slasher movie in order to go through the process of deconstructing conventional slasher movies. Anyway, Blistered Soul gives $1.99 and says, the death scene in Second Son solidified the story. Piss off, Blistered Soul. Infamous 2 is the good Infamous plot with the good death scenes. Second Son is just shite.
You want Second Son spray paint? Still gorgeous. Still a really good looking game.
It is, and you get to shake your controller and do spray paint. Wow.
Hey, have you guys played Ghost of Yote yet? Because you can use your controller to draw calligraphy. Very nice.
Yeah, but I'm not doing this though, mate. I'm not doing this. So.
Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing this the whole time. I'm getting my crank on wherever I am.
Ghost of Crank Eye.
Anyway. Magnus Burkhoff gives 50 Norwegian kroner, says, World of Goo always gets me emotional, though the music does a lot of the heavy lifting. Music do add something to stories, just look at Supergiant games. I think there's someone at Supergiant who just wants to be, like, cutting albums. Because every game they make an excuse to have, like, some vocal singing.
I think it's cool that their games... Sorry, go ahead.
Carry on.
No, I was going to say, I think it's cool that their games so clearly feel like, oh, this is authored by the same. You could tell that team has been together for a long time because so many of the same themes and leitmotifs and stuff are
the art style, everything.
Making up a game that really isn't a fucking isometric hack and slash one of these days. Supergiant.
I don't want to. No, keep making them.
I also like that.
That's true.
That's a good game. I also think the narrative excuse to have a song with lyrics in 2 is the sirens. I think that's really cool.
That's such a good boss battle that I played the first couple times without. I played it like while watching something else, and then I played it again fully listening with headphones. So I was like, "Oh my god, this is so much better than I thought it was."
When you take them out individually, the harmony of them singing breaks, and they're just
and it loses that element of the song. Yeah, really good.
Yes, I love the sirens. I'm annoyed because I've like killed Kronos like enough times for the plot, and I'm working on killing
top one
Typhon enough times, and now I don't get to see the sirens on my way down.
I know.
I'm like, I want to catch up with them.
Yeah, you know, they have different log on the way down.
No, it's just the fucking Cyclops and Ares and fucking Prometheus.
One thing about the way down is you having to keep fighting your mentor. Is like at a certain point, wouldn't you just be like, "You're fine. You're obviously right.
You're
good.
You
don't need to do this."
Yeah. Apparently not. No. There's always more to learn by getting the shit kicked out of you. Tsunami Dusha gives $5 and says, Klonoa series and had me teary. 1 had a death early on, making the ending triple messed up. 2 was a tearful goodbye of characters, a maturer sadness. Okay, never played those.
It's insane how emotional these games get for playing as a big floppy-eared rabbit. Like, the twists at the end it is nuts how dark it gets.
Crazy that you can be emotional in 2.5D.
There you go.
Healing.
One could say that's the only dimension I choose to be emotional in.
Mm-hmm.
The 2.5 dimension is where I show my true feelings.
I can't cry unless I'm in 2.5D.
Gay Bear Daddy 2 comes back with $5 and says, for a game with a terrible moment that stuck with me, Eternal Sonata has a character die for like a 15-minute monologue cutscene, 18 years of cringe. Now, that's the game. I like bringing up this game because that's the JRPG that's set inside the dying mind of Chopin, the composer.
Yeah. What the fuck?
The entire game is what's going on inside the mind of Chopin as he dies.
Yeah. Every game should be set in the mind of a famous historical figure as they die.
Yeah.
Does it have a lot to do with music? And
I mean... I guess. I haven't played it. I just know the premise. I mean, that's a fucking elevator pitch, isn't it? I want to make a JRPG set in the dying dream of an 18th century composer.
That's an elevator.
We used to be a society where people could pitch the president gets killed and isekai to a fantasy world. We used to be a society that had JRPGs like that.
Yes, Ni no Kuni 2. Thank you for reminding me of it.
Ninu Nanu. Look at Eric with his copy of Eternal Sonata. I saw that.
Cow Co gives £4.99, says probably been mentioned, but a few moments in Modern Warfare 1, the first and the start of the bunker scene in Modern Warfare 2 with the radio chatter. I think the plot of Modern Warfare 1 holds up pretty well. It's just the problem is it kind of created a template that basically every Modern Warfare game followed from that point on, and it could only lose impact as it went on. Hey, the character you were playing as got killed in a surprise death. Woo, let's do that in every fucking game now.
Surprise. Yeah.
Anyway, Robonop the Snob gives €5 and says that the ending of Hellblade 2 was incredibly memorable when you find out the writers had no idea what they were doing.
I literally cannot remember the ending of Hellblade 2, and that was a year.
I remember it was kind of shit.
Yeah.
Well, turns out the ending of Hellblade 2 was you turning off the game.
Yeah.
I still think that's rocks in game history.
Yeah, probably the best moment of playing that game. Turn the fucking thing off.
Best rocks ever.
Yeah. So that's all super chats. We did all the super chats. We got through it. Another week. We got through it all.
I'm proud of us.
Thanks very much for all. Oh,
There's
fucking
another.
hell, another one came in. Yeah, all right. Boo Ray gives $5. Says, what historical figures, dying mind, would Final Fantasy X2 be in?
It'd be a pop star because that's all about pop stars. So it'd be like
Lady Gaga.
Shakira.
Lady Gaga, Shakira.
I'm going to say Jean-Paul Gaultier. Or is that
Jean-Paul
Expedition
Gaultier.
33?
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, that's it from us this week for the Windbreakers podcast. Don't forget, content all week on Second Wind, including my fully ramblomatic review, which, oh, fuck off, Super Chats. This week's fully ramblomatic review will be on the subject of Silent Hill F. What else could it have been? Hades 2 next week.
Hades 2.
Yeah,
Yes,
could have been Ghost
yes,
DOJ. Could have been a lot of things.
I'm a bit delayed, you know that, in many ways. But yeah, my Silent Hill F review this week. What else we got? I've got my usual stream, Yahtzee Tries, Wednesday afternoon. And the Yahtzee Tries compilation video where we cut out the fun parts of the streams and I do little reviews of all the games. That's coming out on Sunday. So that's me.
Lovely. Jay, what do you got going on?
Yeah, if you're looking for Hades 2 Shenane gains, I've already got a video out on Hades 2 and the imbalance of it. I've got another design delve coming out next Monday. There's no dev heads this week as there was one last week, and there's going to be
combo, by the way. People should check that one out with you, Tina and Mikey. I thought that was really great. Really great insight into the all the bullshit.
We had a new segment on the show, which was it was Tina's idea to get because the whole EA buyout is very complicated and very nuanced. Tina decided that we should contact all of our developer friends and get quotes from them. A lot of them are anonymous because a lot of them have ties to things, but we got a bunch of different perspectives, and it's a really interesting conversation we had. So we're going to roll that whenever we have juicy news topics. We're going to do that for future segments as well. So hope you guys enjoy that. Along with on Thursday, we're going to be doing a Twitch exclusive stream of Jess and I playing Once Upon a Galaxy. So come by and learn how to play, fuckers. That's me.
Oh, yeah. And then, we should have normal streams the remainder of the week, hidden gems tonight, all the normal pods and everything. Tomorrow, we'll have the rewind. We'll be chatting about One Battle After Another, the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Please tune in for that. And then I should also, following up on Yahtzee's Fully Ramblomatic on Silent Hill F, I should have a video essay of my own on Silent Hill F that's specifically about why I think it makes excellent use of jump scares in a way that a lot of games don't. And I sort of compare and contrast it to some iconic jump scares throughout both games and film. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
I've always thought jump scares are kind of cheap in horror. I've always lionized Silent Hill 2 for having almost none.
Agreed. Silent Hill 1 has them though. With the cat in the locker.
Yeah, fucking locker cat.
Yeah, love a locker cat.
Anyway, a few super chats came in. Sussy Giver 2000 gives €5. Says, as my memory is failing me in my advanced age, I can only offer Phantom Liberty. You know, I struggled to remember what that was for a second. I thought that was like the subtitle of Metal Gear Solid 2 for a moment.
Me too.
Sons of Phantom Pain Liberty.
Yeah.
Did anyone play that? That was like the Idris Elba centric DLC, right?
No, I wanted to wait to get through the main story of Cyberpunk to get to it, and I can never get more than like 15 hours into Cyberpunk before I stop playing it.
Kebukai Kimono gives €10. Says, off topic, but I felt like a mega chad when I finished the fight that made Yahtzee the Wimp Croshaw quit Silksong. Then I got to the boss after Arena in Bilewater and am considering quitting myself. Yeah. Well,
Silksong is a game that humbles you. Whenever you think you're good at it, you get humbled.
It continues to do that into Act 3, and the ending, it's
love to be stupid.
Little word of advice. Don't compare yourself to things like mega chads. Do not use the word Mega Chad ever again.
Unless you're Chadley from Final Fantasy VII, who is...
And even then, the Mega Chad. You know, that would probably be very self-aggrandizing to refer to yourself as Mega Chad.
I'd be like Mega J. That's dumb.
I kind of like Mega J.
Mega J? It's like a really big turd.
Rolls off the tongue better.
Oh, there was a name. We were going to start calling you Melvin, Jay, because we watched an episode on one of my streams. We watched an episode of the Pokemon anime, and they introduced a magician named Melvin, and we were wondering if that was like some of your backstory. So yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
Gay Bear Daddy 2 gives $2, says, glad I could be here live. Thank you all for the fun. And then Fungus Finder gives $2, says, let's discuss the metaphysical ramifications of tea. Let's not, actually. Let's just fuck off so I can get my lunch. All right, thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. You're all great.